know that. She's a Marxist. Her father was a Marxist before her. So she was brought up in the family tradition. And she really is, and this country is not ready for a Marxist. We don't want a Marxist as a president. And she destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California. And we're not going to let it destroy our country. I'll tell you, it's not going to happen.
Trump really know what he doing, man. Trump be talking that talk.
But just to finish, so for some reason she doesn't want to talk to anybody. So she's either not the smartest light in the ceiling. I'm trying to be nice here. I want to be. They say, be nice, sir, be nice. It's hard to be nice when somebody is destroying your country and wants to destroy your country. It's hard to be like nice. But she is.
Says she's not the smartest light in the ceiling.
Terrible borders are worst in history, probably not just in this country, but the border. Millions and millions of people. I say 20 million plus have poured through the border during their term. I have the safest border in the history of our country. They have the most unsafe border in the history of the world. And they're coming through.
Let's go, Trump!
And many of them are from
Talk
prisons
that shit.
and jails. There's a slight difference, as you know, prisons and jails. Many are from mental institutions and insane asylums. And many are terrorists. And they're pouring into our country at a level. I don't know if you saw the news today, Tulsi. They had a group of, a lot of them, Venezuelan people with lots of machine guns taking over a building someplace. I'm looking, I'm saying, where is that? They went in and they took over a building. This is just the beginning. They're taking their criminals from all over the world, not just South America, not just Venezuela, which you've been reading about, all over the world. They're taking their criminals and they're dumping them into the United States. Kamala is allowing it to happen. And they actually want to give them papers. They want to make them citizens, and they want to give them your Social Security. They want to give them your Medicare. And your Social Security will collapse under her. I'm the one that's going to protect the Social Security. But they're coming. I will totally protect, as I did for 4 years. And there was no age increase. There was no anything. We're going to protect. They destroy you with inflation, and then they want to destroy your Social Security, so it's not going to happen. But this is going to be the most important election in the history of our country. So I just want to say that it's an honor to be with you tonight. It's a forum that's very different because I have no idea who the hell is broadcasting it. But all we'll do is we'll talk because we're friends. I love this state. I gave them Marinette. We gave them a very big, Tulsi, we have a ship contract. And as you know, we gave Marinette yards, but we gave them a tremendous contract. They wanted it all over the country. I said, we're going to get it for Wisconsin, and it's a big one. And they're doing a great job, I understand. So we got that. And we're going to have a good time tonight. So let's go.
Mr. President, you talked about immigration. We actually have Amber here who's quite concerned about that, and she's got a question for you.
Hey, we had 100 subscribers. Let's go.
My name is Amber, and I'm from Cameron, Wisconsin. I have 3 beautiful children, and I'm torn on who to support. My youngest daughter is here tonight. My oldest son is 18, and he just started trade school this week. Very proud of him. My concern is that illegal immigration is threatening opportunities for my children. I worry that it's taking away jobs from Americans. I'm wondering, what will you do about that?
All right, well, it's great. I think I'll stand up and... Do you mind if I turn around? Thank you, Amber, very much. And you're right. I'll tell you, we have the people that I'm talking about. They're pouring in at levels never seen before. They're coming in by millions and millions, and a lot of them are taking the jobs for the black population, the Hispanic population, and unions are going to be very badly affected because, and I was talking to some of the union heads who I actually do get along with, but they're very concerned about it because the jobs that are, the people that are coming in are just taken, and it's going to start with the black population. African Americans are losing their jobs, and I don't know if you heard the latest statistic. that of the jobs that these people created, which is very little, every single job was taken, about 107% was taken by illegal immigrants. There's been no job creation from them. The jobs were filled by illegal immigrants. With all of that being said, I want to give you a very positive answer. We're going to win this election. We're going to turn this country around.
Let's go, Trump! What they talking about? Get them niggas out of here, man. They fucking up our
We're going
shit.
to become an unbelievable growth country, and your boy is going to have the greatest job. And you want to have a lot of choice with jobs. You know, you want them to go up and they get up and they, it's hard to believe I have that the way I get treated, but we're going to create a lot of jobs. We're going to create, does he want to stay here or does he want to go to a different state or anything? Yeah, someplace in the Midwest, but this is a good place to stay, right? Wisconsin. So we'll be creating tremendous jobs for our country, and we're also turning away. You know,
I thought Trump was
closing
here.
the border, really closing it. By the way, did you see? So Kamala was for defunding the police. She was for open borders. She was for everything that you're not against. I could go through 14 different. She's changed in every single one of them. In fact, I think we should see the man in the red hat and the beautiful woman in the red hat says, "Make America Great Again." Perhaps we should give Kamala a "Make America Great Again" hat, right? But the problem is, that's not her belief. Her belief is open borders. Her belief is getting rid of Social Security. Her belief is doing all of these plans, like for health insurance, where you have one big government-run mess. And if you have private plans, a lot of the people in this room have private plans. They're incredible plans. They worked hard to get those plans, and that's what they want. But with her, she wants to have, it's really a communist type of government. And I just saw her, Tulsi, she was sitting behind a desk doing this interview. And I said, Dana Bash, you could make yourself big tonight. All you have to do is be fair. I haven't seen the questions, but they gave out a sample. In fact, she's going to be on later on tonight with a taped. It was a taped. We're doing it live. Why are we doing it live and she's doing it taped? But
I don't know. I don't know, Trump. I don't know why they doing that, Trump.
That desk, this massive desk.
Why you doing it live and she got tape her joint? I don't know, Trump. They got edit some shit, maybe. I don't know.
Xi of China. I don't see her with Kim Jong-un like we did with Kim Jong-un. So we're going to have to see what happens.
She don't know nobody.
November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of this country.
They don't even respect the women in their own countries. What makes you think they're going to respect the women of the United States? Come on, man.
Mr. President, there
Talk
are a
that
lot
shit,
of
Trump.
people who want to feel hopeful about our future. I want to introduce you to Luke, who is one of those people.
They should have let me ask the question.
Hello, Mr. President.
Good-looking guy.
I would have been like, Trump, where that bread at?
I'm a junior here at the University.
I would have been like, Trump, where that shmoney?
Voting for the first time in November, and I'm researching each candidate. I have two questions for you. First, as I've been living on my own and buying my own gas and groceries, I have noticed that everything has become more expensive.
Hell yeah.
Personally, I try to eat healthy and stay lean. A pound of meat has gone from $4 to almost $7. I also
Damn.
would like to buy a home someday, but that seems just impossible now. What's your plan to make life more affordable and bring down inflation for someone like me?
Very good. Thank you.
Great question. Great question. Great question, young man. Great question, young
I
man.
get most. You know, they say you're going to vote with your stomach. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's a little bit true. And groceries, food has gone up at levels that nobody's ever seen.
Yo, I just went shopping the other day.
60, 70%.
Dog, I spent $60 and I only got 6-7 things, bruh.
Some people don't eat bacon anymore. And we are going to
Some
get
people
the
don't eat
energy
bacon
prices
anymore.
down. When we get energy down, you know, this was caused by their horrible energy wind. They want wind all over the place. But when it doesn't blow, we have a little problem. This was caused by energy. This was really caused by energy and also their unbelievable spending. They're spending us out of wealth.
They spending all the money they say we don't got.
It was caused by energy. And what they've done is they started cutting way back. We were in third place. When I left, we were by far in first place, beating Russia, beating Saudi Arabia.
Talk that
And
shit.
we were going to dominate to a level that we've never seen before. And then we had a bad election. I'll be very nice. I'm supposed to be nice when I talk about the election. Because everybody's afraid to talk about, oh, please, sir, don't talk about
I'll
the
be very
election,
nice.
please. You know,
Very nice.
If you can't talk about a bad election, you really don't have a democracy if you think about it, right?
Talk that shit.
But
Talk that shit.
what they did, Tulsi, is they took back the oil production. The oil started going crazy. That started the
Talk that
inflation.
shit, boy.
Then they went back. They said, go back to where Trump was. The problem is that we would have been 3 times that level right now. We would have been so dominant over Russia and Saudi Arabia.
What's up, chat?
Saudi Arabia, Russia, a lot of oil. We would have had more. You know, we
What's
had
up, chat?
something,
Drop a comment. Who
you know,
y'all voting for? Who y'all got right now voting for?
we-
Trump or
that I
Kamala?
created. I mean, Ronald Reagan wanted it. You remember? Ronald Reagan wanted it. They all wanted it. And I got it approved. Nobody was able to get it approved. I got it approved. And the first week in office,
Who y'all
they
got?
turned it back. They said no.
Where my
It's
chat
the
box
biggest
at?
site possibly in the world. Could be bigger than Saudi Arabia. Well, we're going to start that up. We're going to become the energy capital of the world. We're going to pay down our debt, and we're going to reduce your taxes.
Talk that shit. Reduce
And
them
your
taxes,
groceries are
nigga.
gonna come tumbling down, and your interest rates are going to be tumbling down.
Ooh,
And then you're going
we
to
like
go out
that.
and buy a beautiful house. Okay?
We like low
You're gonna buy a
interest.
beautiful house.
We try and
That's
buy
called the
cribs out here in
American
these
dream.
streets.
The American dream. Thank you.
Mr. President, I want to ask you a question about national security, but first I think it's important to point out what Luke is talking about, the cost of groceries, the cost of gas.
Yeah,
the
that
cost
shit
of
is fucking
housing,
high as hell.
mortgages, Rent,
I
everything
just spent
has
all
gone
this
up.
money on fucking
Kamala
groceries.
Harris's plan that she's announced is government price controls. And I think it's important to touch on, you just laid out your plan. What's going to
Boo.
happen if Kamala Harris
Government
institutes
price control.
controls?
Y'all controlling the
That's a
prices
communist
now.
plan. It's never worked. And it's been tried by others. Believe it or not, Richard Nixon tried it. A lot of people tried it. It's been tried many times, and it always leads to the same failure. Tremendous inflation.
Talk that
lack
shit.
of product. You don't have anything. The stores are not stocked. It has never worked. It's called control. They want control. And, you know, it's been so often. And everybody that comes in, they say it. It sort of sounds great. We're going to go price control. Actually, when she announced it, she got absolutely slaughtered by even Democrats because it doesn't work. It's a known loser. So now she doesn't talk about it. You notice she doesn't
It's
talk
a known
about climate
loser.
change anymore?
This
She's
ni-
not talking about it. You know why?
It's a no loser.
Because
This nigga's
people don't want to
crazy.
hear it. They want to.
I love
they
it.
want to live a good life. They want to live a life. They don't want to stop your industry with climate change. They used to call it different things. Global warming, remember? That wasn't working because it was getting a little bit cooler. So they said, what are we going to do? We'll call it global cooling. No. So they came up with the words climate change because that takes care of everything. Climate change. The climate's changing, but according to them, we're all going to be gone in about, what do we have, 3 years left? They had 12 years, remember? So in about 3 years, let me tell you, we do have a problem, though.
Yo, that is facts. They
Climate
said
change,
12
but a
years,
different kind of
was it 12 years
climate
ago?
change. It's called
They said in
nuclear
15 years,
global warming. We
the
can say
global
that's
warming was
warming.
going like
We don't
wipe
have a
us out
smart
and shit by
president. You know, you
20,
have 5
what's this year?
nations now with
2027, some shit like
massive
that.
Nuclear power. Some have very massive, including us and Russia.
That was Obama's
China's
administration too.
Behind, way behind, but within 4 or 5 years they'll catch up, and we don't want them to catch up. Look, the biggest problem, in my opinion, the biggest problem our country has, the biggest problem the world has, is nuclear weapons. They are a destructive force, the likes of which nobody has ever seen before.
Talk that shit.
And we have to make sure they're never used. We have to make sure it's not going to happen.
Talk that shit.
You're
Talk that
exactly
shit,
right.
Trumpy.
You brought up Ronald Reagan already. Ronald Reagan famously said, a nuclear war can never be won and should never be fought. And I think
Facts.
it's interesting you talked about climate change, Mr. President. The Democrats and Kamala Harris, they were quick to talk about how climate change is an existential threat. But what they're not talking about is the existential threat of nuclear war and World War III, which is exactly where we sit today because of the warmongers and their puppets, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And they don't want to talk about
Talk
it
that shit.
because the consequence of where they have taken all of us, as the American people and the world, is economic hardship
Facts.
around the world, a destruction
Facts.
of our economic well-being, and an annihilation.
Yo,
of
Sam,
humanity, our
that boy be
families,
talking
our
that
kids,
talk.
Our communities.
He definitely
around the
speaks his
world.
mind, man. He
There was a
definitely
recent
speaks his
poll
mind
that,
for real.
YouGov did that pointed out over 60% of Americans feel that World War III and nuclear war is going to happen within 5 to 10 years. And when I heard that, I felt so sad, because they're at a point where they feel like this outcome, the annihilation of the world, is inevitable. So
The
I wanted to ask you
annihilation
about
of
this,
the
because
world.
It's important that people understand what kind of leadership you bring, what you will do to stop this slide towards nuclear war and World War III, so that we can feel hopeful again.
What you gonna do, Trump? Talk that
Thank you.
shit.
So, Viktor Orban, a very strong leader from Hungary, Prime Minister of Hungary, they asked him recently about what's the problem in the world. A few years ago, during my term, we didn't have Israel being attacked.
We had no
We didn't have
issues.
Russia
Facts.
attacking Ukraine.
Talk that
And
shit.
they asked him, why is it so bad now? The Middle East is on fire. So many places are on fire, and there are plenty places that could very well and very quickly catch on. What's the problem? He said, you have to bring Trump back as president of the United States. You will have no problem.
Them niggas scared of you, dog. They scared of you, boy. They not gonna be scared of no chicken office, bro.
By being smart.
We don't need no
Literally,
chicken
he said,
office,
"You have to
bro.
bring
They not
Trump
scared
back."
of no
Now,
chicks,
he
bro.
came out with news. He said everybody was afraid of Trump. You know who was afraid of Trump? They said China was afraid of Trump. Russia was afraid of Trump. They were all, and I don't want to say that. I will say this.
What I just say?
They respected
What did I
us. They
just say,
respected
Chad?
our nation. They don't
What did I
respect our
just say? They
nation
scared of this
anymore.
man.
They don't respect our nation anymore.
They don't.
Think of it. What would the world be like if Russia didn't do what they did, and they would have never done it? I used to speak to Putin about it. I had a very good relationship.
Talk that shit.
No chance. You know what happened, I think, Afghanistan, when he saw the horrible leadership that we displayed in Afghanistan, I think he said, wow, this is a time to go in. Because I wasn't there. He would have never done it if I was president.
Talk that shit.
Israel would have never been attacked. Think of it. What would this
Talk
world
that
be
shit, Trump.
Everybody is looking for ways to
Yo,
save
real
big
rap,
on their purchases.
he ain't lying.
But did you know you can shop
He not lying. They are scared of this man, bro. They don't want no smoke with this man.
Right, zero. And with our ship from DE,
They don't want no smoke with Trump.
Israel would have never been attacked. Think of it. What would this world be like? You wouldn't have had that disaster. And it wasn't leaving Afghanistan. And they should have kept Bagram. That's the big air base. It's 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. And
Right.
Keep it. You know who occupies it?
Talk that talk, Trump.
China occupies it. So we have, if you have the right president, and we do
Right.
right now, do we even have a president? He just came in. Think of it. He just came in
No.
from wherever the hell he went. You know, there was a coup. He just doesn't know it yet. But there was a coup. How about that? He got 14. I'm not a fan of his. He was the worst president. But,
You're not?
but think of this. He got 14 million votes. She was the first one to leave, you know. Kamala was the first one to quit. She never made it to the first state in the primaries, which was Iowa. Never even came close. Other people did, but she never even came close. And all of a sudden, she was picked, and she's now running for president. And look, it just started, really. It just really started. The polls have us up here. We're up in this. We're up in states, but it's close. It's close.
It shouldn't be close.
It's close, and you know they cheat like hell, so we don't want to have it too close. But we have to win this. We're not going to have a country, but with
Yo,
him,
that's
it
a
was so
fact,
far,
yo.
We had a thing called. How did he do in the debate? Did you think he did well? Not too good.
He almost fell over.
They wanted to have a debate. I said, okay, it's a little bit early, isn't it? I was trying to talk them out. I said, well, it's a little early for a debate, right? And they said, well, I think we'd like to do it. And that was not a good debate for them. That was not a good debate. So that was the beginning of the end for him. And they started looking. But they picked a woman that had absolutely no votes. She got no votes. And now she's running. So when you say threat to democracy, they are a threat to democracy. I'm not a threat to democracy.
Talk that
I'm
shit.
not a threat. Thank you.
Talk that shit, Trump.
Mr. President, crime and the rise of crime is on the minds of a lot of people. I want to call on Danielle here, who has a question for you.
Hi, Daniel.
Talk that shit.
Well, you need, and you get a lot of those questions from Minnesota, but you get a lot of those
Gotta
questions.
pour up some
from
wine on
Minnesota.
this.
I mean, they picked this guy.
We just
He
refilled
is
the bar.
weird.
We just refilled the bar.
What? He's weird. I'm not weird. He's weird.
It's the last of the TP. Well, the first bottle
He's
of
a weird
TP.
guy. He's a weird dude. You know, see, they come up with sound bites. They always have sound bites. And one of the things is that JD and I are weird. That guy is so straight. JD is he's doing a great job. Smart.
Yup.
Top student.
Talk your talk. Talk your
Great
talk. I
guy.
gotta do my
And
research on the
he's not
JD
weird,
boy.
and I'm not weird.
I heard
I
some
mean,
things
well,
about him, but I gotta
I'm
do my own
weird.
research.
I will tell you. But that guy is weird, don't you think? You know, he signed for, and who would think that this is even happening in our country with.
Shout out Snoopy.
men
Snoopy
playing
not
in
feeling
women's
it.
sports
Snoopy
and
not
all
feeling
this.
Kamala
He
either.
has it at a level that nobody can believe. A bill that every boy's bathroom will have tampons. Okay.
What?
Hence,
Boo.
tampon.
Boo. Why you want to
But
put
think of it.
tampons in man bathrooms?
Think of it.
Boo.
And you know, on the question of abortion, he is the one. Abortion.
Fuck the
in
Democrats. We don't want no
19-
fucking
and if
tampons
the
in there.
baby
Come
In
on.
Minnesota.
OG
and I'd
was
love
good.
To win Minnesota, because those people aren't digging.
We
this guy.
live on YouTube and Twitch right now and the IG right now.
But
Trump talking that
think
talk
of
right
this.
now.
6 states, Minnesota's one of them. If the baby is born, you're allowed to execute the baby after. Think of that. After
That's
birth.
crazy.
In Minnesota, you're allowed to execute.
That's crazy.
And you remember
They out here
the
killing
former
babiys.
governor,
That's crazy.
Not the current governor, who's terrific.
We don't want that,
Glenn
Trump.
Youngkin. We're going to win maybe Virginia. We could do that. But the former governor, and he said, you sit the mother down and the father down. You sit them down and you talk, and the baby is born, and you make a decision what to do. He meant, do you execute the baby after birth? And according to what they
That's
have
crazy.
passed in legislation, in Minnesota, they're allowed to execute the baby after birth.
Wow.
And this guy is a participant.
Boo,
And that's why
Minnesota.
she because she is, in fact, a Marxist/communist. Remember,
That's
I
crazy.
say all the time, our country will never be socialist, right? We will not have a socialist. Well, I was right. We skipped socialism. We went to communism. This woman.
Talk
has to
your
be
shit,
stopped.
Trump. Talk that shit.
Mr. President, we have time for one
Ass
final
sucking
question.
Trump.
I'm gonna
Look,
give
man,
the mic
listen,
to
man. You vote for
Bernardo.
Kamala all you want, bruh.
He's got an important question, given very soon we will
You vote for
be
Kamala all you want, my
honoring
guy.
the anniversary of September 11th and all of the lives
Destroy the country if you want
that were
to.
lost on that tragic day and that tragic attack where
You can't
we
give
were
me one
attacked
good
by
reason
radical
why she
Islamist
should be
terrorists.
president.
And Bernardo
Give me one good
wanted
reason.
to share his thoughts and had a question for you on this.
Mr. President, my name is Bernardo. I'm a voter here in Wisconsin, live in the wonderful La Crosse County here. And
Talk that shit. What's your question, boy? Shout out
I'm
Wisconsin.
also a father of 8. I have
Father at
7 here
8.
with me.
Damn. Congrats to you, my brother. Father at 8. Congrats to you, my brother. Pound side was good.
It's the anniversary of 9/11 is coming up. I'm concerned that we're more vulnerable now than ever. And we have a Democrat nominee who doesn't even want to say the words, says we shouldn't say the words, radical Islamic terror. How are we going to protect America from a terrorist attack?
First of all, it's a great question. And, you know,
Great
we
question.
have
What you got to say,
radical
Trump?
Islam is pouring into our country along with everybody else right now. They're coming in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. we kept them out. We had 1 year where Border Patrol put down, it was, I believe, 2019, where they, and I don't believe this, I don't believe it's right, but I'll take it. They said 0 came in 20, that was my term, 0. Now we have thousands. I'd like to say that was true. It's probably not, because I can't imagine that. But we were very tough on that. Now they have thousands and thousands coming in, along with the prisoners and along with the crime. And remember, a lot of these countries, like Venezuela, their crime is way down because they're
illegals out
to our country. It's not even believable. But your question on Islamists and all of the jihad and all of the things that they talk about, they have to respect your country. They have to respect your leader. You know,
facts. Yo, that's a fact. That's a fact. If they don't respect the leader, they're going to say fuck the country. Why would you want a woman in office and they don't even respect women over there?
And the next day you get hit. But we had none, 4 years of it, because they respected your president, they respected your country, and we have to bring back that level of respect. And we're
the only country that hold women at a super high pedestal and no accountability in the world. We the only people that do that. Why would you want put somebody in our world in an office that? Come on, bro. They don't even respect the women in their own country.
Concerned about these very same issues. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thank you, everybody. Vote. Vote. Thank you, everybody, very much.
Oh, that's a fact. That's a whole fact right there.
Please welcome to the stage 4-term Congresswoman from Hawaii's 2nd District and Lieutenant Colonel in the
That's
United
a whole
States
fact
Army
right
Reserve,
there.
Tulsi Gabbard.
It is such a privilege.
Nah, hold. We're gonna pause this. That's a whole fact though. If other countries, right? This is real shit, and this isn't no bashing of the sexes and nothing like that. But if other countries don't respect the women in their own country, why would we hire or elect a woman to run our country to have to go over there and get their respect? She gonna have to do some wild, crazy ass shit in order to get niggas respect. And then what? What does that trickle down? Come on, man. They don't even respect the women in these other countries. Why are we gonna put a woman in our office as our world leader? As the leader of our country to go over to the world and talk to Putin and Kim Jong-un and these motherfuckers in the Middle East and shit like that. They don't even respect the women over there. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm all for it. Look, she be vice president all she wants. She ain't do shit the last 4 years. Cool. I don't care. Give her a seat in Congress, not president of the United States. They don't even respect them over there. Why would we put a leader and have her go over there where they do not respect her? They didn't even respect Joe Biden because he was fucking sick and getting ready to die and fall over all the time and shit like that. You go from a nigga that they don't respect to a chick that they're never gonna respect. What do you think that does to us? We're vulnerable as hell. Like, come on, man. Come on, Toasty. Talk your shit.
And we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna make
Talk
it
your
healthy
shit, Toasty.
and beautiful and better.
Talk your shit, Toasty.
And it's really, this is some crowd. Let's have a good time. Thank you very much, everybody.
Well, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank
this
you.
is a very special evening for us all to have a conversation about some of the real issues that are facing Americans across the country and that don't get talked about often enough. And I want to start with one that's very personal to me, hard to talk about sometimes. This is only the second time I've spoken about it.
She about to talk about the IBF stuff.
My husband and I were married almost 10 years ago. We wanted to start a family. We were very excited
She
about
can't
it.
have kids.
Unfortunately, it was very
Okay.
difficult. We were not successful in trying to get pregnant.
Talk that pregnancy
For us,
talk. Let's go.
IVF seemed to be the only option and the last resort. As you know, it's a pretty difficult
Let's see what else we got
process.
over
It's
here.
very, very expensive.
Dave McCormick said.
No, we already heard that, John. Let's listen to a Kamala Harris talk. Let's listen to a Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris live. What's crazy is Kamala ain't go live. She taping hers. I don't want to hear something taped. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear nothing taped. Like, what are we doing?
Influential figures in modern politics. Vice President Kamala
The debate
Harris
begins in
and
2
former
hours and
President
19
Donald
minutes.
Trump.
All right, bet.
This is more than a
I want let's see what Kamala Harris has to say. Let's see what Kamala Harris has to say. Let's do some Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris speech. Let's see what Kamala Harris got. Let's see. She live right now? Is she live right now?
There's some of the areas where I'm seeing lines. My forehead lines, I got crow's feet right here, my frown lines. So I'm still me with fewer lines, which is
Kamala Harris
nice.
got to say.
This every year. They generate revenue that helps repair our roads and pay our teachers. And you know, for all of those who are or know of small business owners, the thing I love about you is that you're not only leaders in business, you are civic leaders. You are community leaders. You are mentors. You hire locally. You believe in the community, and you're part of the glue of the fabric.
I don't like
that
all of
holds
this. I don't like
communities
people that talk
together.
with their hands.
You
You don't
provide
trust
the
them
local
people.
meeting space. You are the types of folks where you know who your regulars are, and when someone's walking in the door and you can tell they've had a bad day, you know exactly what they need. Isn't that the best of who we are?
What?
Isn't that the best of who we are?
I can't stand this lady. How
And
do
I've
you?
met so many
I'ma chill, I'ma chill,
entrepreneurs
I'ma chill,
across
I'ma
the
chill.
country who take
I'ma
the
chill.
incredible leap of faith that is required to start a small business. Folks who put their life savings
Yo, we
on the
wanna hear
line
about the
and
policies,
work through
shorty.
the weekends and holidays.
We wanna
'cause
hear
they
about
aren't just building
policies.
a business. A topic we're going to discuss today, which is what I call an opportunity economy. Building an
We want to hear. Come on, Kamala. Come on, look.
Building
Trump
an
just talked all
opportunity
policy. We want to hear
economy.
policy. I don't want to hear nothing about
And
pandering
my
to
vision of an
people.
opportunity economy is one where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Where
What's up?
everyone,
What's up, dog?
regardless of who they are, where they start,
This
can
girl- yo,
build
I
wealth,
can't-
including intergenerational
Yo, real
wealth.
rap, you never trust somebody that talks with their hands. That's rule numero uno. We do not trust people that talk with their hands. People that talk with their hands don't know what the fuck they talking about. They distracting you. All of this shit. What are you putting in order? What are you placing? Your thoughts? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like what is like? Come on,
Where
yo.
workers are treated with dignity and everyone has the freedom to join a union if they choose.
Hands is all over the place.
Where we
Opportunity
remove
economy.
barriers
What
to
type of
opportunity so anyone who
shit
wants
sounds
to
stupid.
start a business can have access to the tools and the
We already
resources
have
they need
access to
do
the
that.
tools. Talk
I
policy.
believe, and I will add more than $5 trillion to the national debt, and that is on top of the $2 trillion tax cut he gave them when he was president and when he exploded the deficit. We know how to count. We know how to count.
You gonna add
And
$5 trillion
he
in
also
debt?
wants to impose what in effect is a national sales tax
Okay.
on everyday products and basic necessities, which will skyrocket the cost for families and small businesses. And New
Pause.
Hampshire
Time out. In these last 4 years, y'all have skyrocketed everything. Gas, groceries. I literally went to the grocery store yesterday. I spent $64.76. I came back with 2 packs of chicken breasts, one Italian herb, the other was original. I came back with a motherfucking small bag of motherfucking shrimp. I came back with pasta noodles, vegetables. I'm sorry, a bag of broccoli. I didn't even get a bunch of vegetables. I got some milk that was $3. Like, come on, yo. And the Minute Maids even went up, bro. The Minute Maids is $3.78. Them Jones is $2. Come on, what are we doing here?
top of all of this,
I don't like this
if
hand
Donald
talk. Why
Trump
is she
were
talking
to
with her
win in
hands so
November,
much?
he intends to end the Affordable Care Act, which would significantly increase costs on small businesses, as we know. And, well, you know what? The courts are going to handle that, and we will handle November. How about that? How about that?
Come on, yo. Yo, for real, on some real shit, anybody voting for this lady is crazy. She never gets deep into policies, and her track record don't match her words. Not to mention, all these calls going sky high, and money is consistently being sent overseas during the last 5 years. Bruh, she, and during it, yeah, that's a fact. That's 100% fact, bro. Like, nothing she says matches her track record. Groceries, sky high. Gas, sky high. Elysian Beauty Queen, what's popping? Everything is sky high. What make this is how easy it is to pander to the traumas of people, right? That's what the Democratic Party does. And I'm not saying the Republican Party is just immaculate. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, when it comes to the Democrat Party, they never speak on policies. They never speak on policies. All they do is speak on the traumas of people, and they exploit people's trauma and leave them in the same trauma that they're exploiting them for. For example, if you look at the last 60 years that minorities have been voting for the Democratic Party, what has got better? What has got better through the Democratic Party? Are we not dealing with worse situations than we were 60 years ago when we converted over to the Democratic Party? No, yes, we are. Shit is worse. The black, and I speak on the color of my skin. The black family home has been decimated by the Democratic Party, and continuously black people continue to vote Democrat. They have done nothing but literally destroy the black family, the black man, like even the black woman they have destroyed by empowering her in a sense so much through the assistance that's available, as long as you continue to do what it is they say you need to do. Why aren't fathers in homes? Democratic Party. Why are single mothers so rampant right now? Why are there just so many women just having babies on top of babies on top of babies on top of babies? Why? Because of the assistance that they will get. The lack of accountability that is placed on them. Like it's so, the Democratic Party, and then on top of that, they use our celebrities, they use all these people that we look up to in order to get votes. And on top of that, the last 4 years, they have empowered so many illegal immigrants to just come into America. Now what? What's going to happen? A black and brown situation is going to happen. Black and brown, black versus brown. That's exactly what's getting ready to happen. Black versus brown. Swear to God, it's going to be black versus brown. Because if you're an illegal immigrant, you're brown, you're not black. And on top of that, they're aiding the illegal immigrants. They're aiding immigrants, period. So if you're allowing all of these people just to come into the country, what the fuck do you think they're going to vote for if you give them citizenship? The Democratic Party. And why are they going to vote the Democratic Party? Because the Democratic Party is the one that's allowing them to come in. They're the ones that's paying them. Meanwhile, black people, we still fucked up. You giving aid to people that are illegally here. And the people that are legally here, born here, whose ancestors did not ask to come here, and you motherfuckers brought here, are still fucked up. How about you deal with the people here first before you start aiding people from outside sources and outside places to come here? That makes absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. She never talks about policy. She never talks about change. All she talks about is nonsense, and the traumas that we're going through. And then she does this thing with her hands where she talks, and then she does this smile. Like, we're just like, come on, bro. This lady is like, oh my God, this lady is trash, bro. And then you got people that's so emotionally stuck to it that they're willing to just vote for her because she's a fucking woman. That makes no sense. If world powers around the world are not respecting us now, which is why the niggas is bombing the shit out of all these places and shit like that that they wasn't bombing during the last term. They're bombing it now. What the fuck you think they're gonna do when they see that we got fucking women in office? They don't even respect the women in their own country. What makes you think they're gonna respect her as our president? Come on, bro. It don't even make
That's how we'll
sense.
handle that. How about that?
This shit don't even make sense.
But think about it.
I always thought
Give her a place in
my
Congress.
daughter would
or
make
something
her
like
own
that.
medical decisions
You know what
and
I'm
have
saying?
this.
Like, let her go to Congress or something like that, bro.
Even in cases of rape or incest, it's outrageous.
Chat, you're not wrong. Chat, you're not wrong. The YouTube chat is not wrong. You're not wrong, my guy. Daniel, you're not wrong. You talked about that already. Like, come on, yo. Real rap, I do too. Somebody in the YouTube chat said, I don't want to see people upset. I wish we could split up into red and blue states and you guys can have Harris. That'd be great. That'd be great. For everybody could just be happy and then be like, all right, bet, we're a red state, we're ran by this person. Y'all want to be blue? Go ahead. Like, people are just stuck on the fact that she's a woman. She's not even a black woman. She is an Indian American. So she's not black. She's brown. Like, and black people are like, I'm voting for the first black president. She's not black. She is brown. She classifies herself as Indian American. She is not black. Black is not brown skin. Black is African American. The fuck? That's how we're so stuck on the character that's in place. Whether it's Trump or Kamala, everybody's either stuck on how they don't like the Trump character, or they're stuck on, oh, well, it's a woman and she's gonna be the first one. Let's make history. Fuck that. We did that with Obama, and look what the fuck happened. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. Well, I mean, at least for black people, nothing happened. But the gays, they winning right now because of Obama. The fuck? I just think as black people, we shouldn't vote at all. I think we should organize our vote. I think we should really sit down and we should really organize our vote. We should have organizations in every motherfucking city and state across the motherfucking United States. And we should speak about what it is that we want publicly, come to a conclusion in each state of what it is we want, and then look at the similarities across each state. And then from there, we can go ahead and say, all right, bet this is what it is that we're asking for. The reason we don't get anything done for is because everything's all over the place. We have no organization. We're not organized. Our vote is now organized. They couldn't even tell us what we want because we as a people can't even agree on at least 3 things that we want across the board. And it's not about money. You can't just say, oh, we want money. It's deeper than money. It has to be some opportunity, a change in policy, maybe an amend the Constitution, and like do something that'll actually change how we have to be viewed as people. Because as long as the policies are in place in order for people to treat us how they want to treat us or use the loopholes that they want to use, they're going to continue to use them. That's just America for your ass. If there's a loophole, somebody gonna motherfucking take it. That's it. That's all it is. They debate start in 2 hours. And it's hosted by ABC. Let's see what they talking about earlier.
Tonight, if you look at where past debates have been. So for Vice President Harris, it could be a critical night in her political career. She's only been the Democratic presidential nominee for about a month. She has not been tested this cycle.
Bruh.
Although she did full.
Bruh, Trump is about to cook her boots in the debate. You cannot debate with this nigga Trump, bruh, and be her. It's just not gonna work. If she policy. When if she can speak on policy and she can translate her policies and her ideas properly, she has a chance to to woo some people. But as far as winning, she lost this joint off the rip. She's only been a fucking candidate for a month so far. Like, come on, yo. Like, let's be real about this. Nobody is scared of this. Nobody across like you gotta have some type of power across the world. She has no power across the world. People are not scared. People aren't even scared of the women in their own countries. What the fuck makes you think that an Indian American woman as our president is going to strike any fear into any world leaders across the world? It's just not going to happen. Official snapshot said, personally, I don't think she's ready. Daniel Cardi said people be doing whatever's clever. They do. They do. They really do. They really do. But this right here is not a president. This right here, her coming out like this, she just happy to be here. This is somebody that's just happy to be here. This is literally somebody that's just happy to be here. She just happy to be here. That's it. She just happy to be here. That's all. She just happy to be here. Thankful for the opportunity. If I win, I win. If I don't, it's cool. I'll continue to do what I did in order to get here. Suck peen. Because that's what she did. If you want to go through her track record, we can go through it. How did she get where she was at? Come on now. If we're really going to talk about it, but they don't want to talk about that because, then that's bashing women and that's not giving women the respect. And it's not even about women at this point. It is about her. That's it. That's it. That's all it is. It's not about women, none of that. It's about her. What is there? Like, come on, bro. These people in it, come on, man. People be going with whatever's clever. Yo, they really do. They really do, my guy. They really do. They really do. I'm definitely going which one call it. I'm definitely going to stream this whole debate when this shit starts. I'm definitely going to stream this joint when it starts. I'm definitely going to stream this when this actually starts. Because let me tell you, the nonsense. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait. Oh, this the joint Trump was at in Philly.
Millions of your fellow Pennsylvanians will cast their votes.
This the joint Trump was at earlier when he was in Philly.
Say that you can imagine, listen, they come from Africa, they come from the Middle East, countries that are not friends of ours, and they're coming by the millions, and these fools, Kamala, who's a Marxist, these fools are letting them come into our country.
Yup.
Country. And I said, did you ever see that? I don't want to brag, but they do have a big selling hat. You know what it says? Trump was right about everything, right?
Come on now.
No, but
Talk that shit.
those countries, I would be doing better than them at getting the people out. You run a country, the country's inundated with really tough people that are criminals. to get them the hell out. If I was the head of a country, the president of a country, if I was in charge of anything having to do with the country, I would have moved them out even faster than they're doing. They are moving people into our country at numbers that nobody's ever seen. And those countries are becoming safe countries. And wait till you see what's going to happen. You know, they're just getting acclimated. You know what that means, acclimated. They're getting used to
Mm-hmm.
that really goes too far. And the only thing they go after is guys like Trump because he protests and all. That's the only thing they're good at going after. They don't go after criminals. They don't go after people that kill people. They don't go after drug dealers that kill, on average, 500 people during their lifetime. So a drug dealer kills 500 people. And the only thing they would understand would be the death penalty. If you had the death penalty for drug dealers, you wouldn't have any more drugs. You wouldn't have
Wow, talk that shit. Talk that shit. Wow, the death penalty for drug
Instead, we
dealers is
formed
heavy.
blue ribbon committees made up of our great First Lady and lots of people.
That's heavy.
Like Steve Witkoff, great developer.
I don't know
in
if
New
I
York.
feel that.
But
If you talking about like fentanyl and shit, yeah, I feel you on that.
I went to China. I saw
Fuck them
President
niggas.
Xi.
They killing
Had a good
people.
relationship until COVID came in. Then I broke it off. That was too much. But I said to him, and I had a great relationship with him, and I will again probably. But I said, do you have a drug problem? 1.4 billion people. No, we have no drug problem. Why don't you have a drug problem? Because we have the death penalty, he said, for drug dealers. If they sell drugs, they die, he said. So those people that sold drugs, they said, you know, let's go to another country. This is a little bit tough. But they do in many other countries. In countries where you have that, you don't have a drug problem. And we are becoming a drug-infested nation, whether
Yes,
you like
we
it or
are.
not. We're becoming a drug-infested nation. So we better get
Talk
our
that
act
shit.
together. You know, years ago, centuries ago, China was taken over numerous times by smaller nations, much smaller nations, because they were all drugged out from the opium fields and all of that. And then one of their very powerful leaders said no more, and they ended it. And we're going to have to end it too, because we're really a country that we're a failing nation in a lot of ways. What they've done to our country is incredible. What is Kamala, who's a total lightweight. Did you see her on television last night? This is going to be the president. This is going to be the president of our country? I don't think so.
Oh.
Sitting propped up in a desk with this guy, this Tampon Tim.
He called him Tampon Tim. He called him Tampon Tim.
And it's the first interview she's done in like, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And if you're too weak to do a one-on-one interview with a person that was so soft, you know, I know Dana, she's always, you know, always nasty.
Let's get the lights on.
She
Let's
was
get
so
the
nice
lights on.
to the Democrats. It's much easier to be a Democrat, but
yeah, the
we
lights
don't
is
agree
on.
with their policies because their policies will destroy our nation. So we can't do that. We can't do that. But it was a very weak interview from the standpoint of CNN. I think CNN should be ashamed of themselves. If that were me, aren't they? Sir, I heard you want the death penalty for drug dealers. Why? Well, you know, I'd like to end the drug epidemic, if that's okay. Remember this.
Yo,
and I said it.
I ain't mad at that.
Every drug dealer,
Fentanyl.
on average, kills
Get the
500
fuck out of here. You
people.
die. You
That's
sell
not
fentanyl.
mentioning
I don't give
all
a
of the
fuck. I don't
families
give a
that are
fuck what color
destroyed
you is.
forever.
Real
They're
shit.
destroyed forever.
Real shit.
And
You
we have
selling
to do
that
something
50 shit?
about
Get
it
the fuck
because
out
we
of
are
here.
becoming, and we are, a drug-infested nation. We have to do something. And if you did that meaningfully, you will, in 1 week, stop the drug problem. Nobody's going to be selling drugs. Nobody. I don't know if the country's ready for it, but they should. You know, we lost. They give you fake numbers. The
I
real
ain't
numbers,
mad
we
at you.
lost
I ain't mad at
probably
that.
350,000
I ain't mad
people
at
last
that.
year to drugs, to fentanyl and other drugs. I had a deal with President Xi, who was going to put that on their ultimate crime list. That's where they give the death penalty. If they make it in China, they sell it here. He was going to give the death penalty. When we had a rigged election, what happened is when I left, they never picked it up. Biden never picked it up, so they never did it. But they were going to give the death penalty, which is their ultimate ultimate punishment. You can't get too much more ultimate than that. They were going to give the death penalty to the fentanyl makers in China if they make it and sell it in here. And they were going to do it because, you know, otherwise we weren't going to do trade. Little things like, we won't trade with you anymore. We won't pay you billions of dollars
well, fuck your trade then, China.
anymore.
We don't want
easy.
your fentanyl.
So easy.
The fuck?
But people like Kamala, she let San Francisco die. She destroyed probably the greatest city, maybe one of the greatest cities, but could be. A friend of mine, Bob Tisch, used to say years ago, he said San Francisco is the greatest city in America. That was probably 1670. He passed away, great guy. He passed away, but he used to talk about San Francisco all the time. Today, you can't walk into San Francisco. She destroyed it. She destroyed. She's the one that started it, too. She was the district attorney. Then she destroyed California along with Gavin Newsom. You know that? One of the truly bad governors. But the fake news is doing everything possible, everything they can to help Kamala Harris. Do you ever notice nobody knows what her last name is? I go, okay, I'm going to give you the first name. Tell me the last name. I say, Kamala. They have no idea who the hell she is. But as they find out, you notice our poll numbers are starting to skyrocket. When they find out that she's a Marxist, when they find out her father, you know, is a Marxist professor, you know that. When they find out that she was the one that destroyed California and San Francisco a long time ago, you can't have this. Look, we have to put our country back into shape.
Facts.
Somebody said, women don't like Donald Trump. I said, I think that's wrong. I think they love me. I love them.
Talk that shit. Talk that shit, Donald.
I love them.
Talk that shit, Donald.
Speaking of them, North Carolina, these women, this is number 227 rally. And they've been to some other than rallies. 220. They're wealthy as hell. Look at them. They've got nothing but cash. Their husbands are great. But they allow them to go all over the country. They follow me all over the country. We have front row Joes over here. We got the women from North Carolina. Look at them. And no, but they're great patriots. They're great patriots. And, you know, I spoke to the husbands one time. I say, how do you put up with this? Your husbands, your wives are traveling all over the place. Do you mind? We trust our wives, sir. We trust them implicitly. I said, well, you have great wives, let me tell you, but they've traveled, I think it's like 228, something like that. But it is beautiful to have you here. We love to have you here. Always perfectly coiffed. They're always perfectly coiffed, right? They're beautiful. They're great women, and we appreciate their being here. We appreciate you guys being here. You were here in Butler. They were there in Butler. I remember they were standing there in the front row Joes. You know what? They get here like 3 days early. They wait around for 3 days, 4 days. They probably got to know some of my guys by now. I would think they don't have to be quite so anxious. They're going to be, but they've done a great job. And then we have Mr. Wall, Irving Wall. Would you please stand up? Irving Wall. He is a great guy, and he was there for Butler, too, wasn't he? He was there. I saw him there, but he's been to many shows. How many shows have you been to? He's lost track. I agree.
He's lost track.
I agree, but I appreciate it. We appreciate it. The whole place appreciates it. Ultimately, they're patriots. It's not about me. These are incredible patriots. These ladies are incredible patriots. So I just want to thank you. Incredible. But to show you how bad the fake news is, some of the Gold Star families, you probably read this over the last couple of days, and you know, a lot of people say, sir, don't hit down on them, the fake news. Don't hit down, sir, don't even mention. I said, should I mention it? Don't hit down. Well, but it became sort of a story. So I always like to mention it, because if you don't mention it, our supporters don't really know what to believe, and they sort of believe this stuff. So the Gold Star families and incredible people, and I got to know them because the 13 families who were, as you know, lost a loved one in Afghanistan so needlessly because we have an incompetent president and vice president grossly incompetent, and we had Milley and these incompetent generals that should have been fired immediately. Not one person was fired over Afghanistan. And by the way, Russia saw that, they went into Ukraine because they said, I had no idea that the United States was so stupid. So, and you know, when I was running that, I spoke to the leader of the Taliban. They run the whole deal. And I said, Abdul, don't even think. Don't do it, Abdul. Don't do it. Because they were shooting, they were killing our people. And they were really killing them previous to me and Obama. They were killing them in the Obama administration and with Biden. But how did he do in the debate? A friend of mine said, sir, what did you do? I said, how good was I tonight? Sir, you probably got him thrown out. Now you're going to have to run against somebody new. I said, I don't care. I have to do what I have to do. We have to do what we have to do. Right?
We got to do what we got to do. Talk that shit.
And I look forward to the debate with her.
Talk that shit, Trump.
But what happened, so with Afghanistan, you know, I do the weave. You know what the weave is? I'll talk about like 9 different things, and they all come back brilliantly together. And it's like, and friends of mine that are like English professors, they say, it's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. But the fake news, you know what they say? He rambled. That's not rambling. When you have, what you do is you get off a subject to mention another little tidbit, then you get back onto the subject, and you go through this, and you do it for 2 hours, and you don't even mispronounce one word. And they say he had 100,000 people. You know, in New Jersey, we had 107,000 people. They never like to report it, so I say it. But in Wildwood, New Jersey, they announced 107,000 people. And then they say, well, look at this. I mean, if you gave me a big arena, we would have said 4,000 people. But it is rather brilliant. But they say, yes, you rambled, but in Afghanistan. So what happens is you take the wonderful families, and they come in, and we're in Washington. They said, would it be possible, sir, would it be at all possible for you to come, because we're celebrating our child's life. The child was buried because of Joe Biden and Comrade Harris. Would it be at all possible, sir, for you to be there? And I said, yeah, it's going to be real tough. I was really like far away, and sometimes it's tough. But I said, you know what, we have to do it. And I got my team and I said, let's go. We're going to Arlington Cemetery.
That's it.
I said, we're going to Arlington. Because again, I got to know these people. Because honestly, they would send me death certificates of their child. They said, sir, would you sign it? Please sign it.
Oh, what we doing here? What we doing here? Who trying to cut our stream? You trying to cut our stream out here in the streets.
You're not ready for it.
Away from where China makes it. A call from the people. Sir, we're going to be going to Arlington to honor our children who were killed, and they are devastated, the people. I had them over at Bedminster, and they didn't think I'd see them. And they said, do you think we'll see him? And they said, well, we don't know. He'll try and make it. I ended up spending 4 hours late at night listening to music with all of the relatives of the people that were. I got to know them, and we were looking at John, we're listening to everybody, and the whole thing was beautiful. And you get to know them. They didn't think I'd see them, but at most I would spend 15 minutes. And I ended up spending many hours. So I got to know them. So they called up and they said, do you think you could?
All right, look, I'm going to be back right in time for the debate.
Try if I can.
The debate starts in, hold on, let's go back to it. Trump versus Harris debate. Ooh. The joint starts. What time is it? Let's see. What time is it? When and where is going to be ABC News tonight. 2100, 8 o'clock. I'll be back at 8 o'clock, y'all.